You can be addicted to alcohol, addicted to drugs, addicted to sex, addicted to all kinds of things, and there's definitely gratification when you drink that drink or whatever you do. But it has a hangover. And it doesn't add up. So, generally speaking, we think in terms of pairs of opposites. And there's something that's called the Eight Worldly Dharmas. And there are these pairs of opposites, and I didn't write them down, and I never can remember them, but they go something like this. I think they're victory and defeat. You want the victory part, right? And definitely not the defeat. There's praise and blame. Ooh, which do you prefer? There's pleasure and pain. There's loss and gain. And the teaching is that as human beings, we're born to think that if we get praise instead of blame, then that's where happiness lies. And if we get pleasure instead of pain, that's where happiness lies. And if we get gain instead of loss, that's where happiness lies. And the Buddhist teaching was that that is not where happiness lies, because those things are so transitory and so limited. You get a momentary satisfaction. My friend said to me, this teaching would sell like hotcakes if there was if there was never any gratification. But the fact is, there is gratification from praise, say. There's gratification from a lot of things. You can be addicted to alcohol, addicted to drugs, addicted to sex, addicted to all kinds of things, and there's definitely gratification when you drink that drink or whatever you do. But it has a hangover. And it doesn't add up. And that was what my friend was saying. If there was no gratification, then people could really buy the stuff. But the fact is, because there's a kind of like temporary happiness that comes from buying things, for instance. Ooh, feels so good. Go out, buy something beautiful and new. You look so good. House looks so good. Kids are so happy. Something is better. But it doesn't add up. So Buddha said, actually, the root of happiness is beginning to live your life in a way that it kind of opens up. Your mind opens up, your heart opens up, and you say, it includes all of this stuff. It includes victory and defeat, praise and blame, loss and gain, pleasure and pain. It includes it all. And that the root of happiness is thinking bigger like that, knowing somehow that it's in being able to embrace it all, and that is the root of happiness, and struggling against the unpleasant part, the dissatisfaction, struggling against that and just trying to get it all to come out under the column of victory, gain, pleasure, praise. It doesn't add up to a kind of lasting, indestructible, at home in your world, at home in your body, this feeling of Maitri, a kind of fundamental, unshakable feeling right about yourself and your world. So this Maitri is a very profound thing, and it's not like, even though I'm talking of it as a foundation for our life, a foundation for compassion, it's not like it's a beginning step. It goes deeper and deeper and deeper. So I find that every week of my life, there's kind of a deepening of this friendship with myself, a deepening of, one of the aspects of Maitri is a deepening of not lying to myself, not able to lie to myself anymore. One of the main qualities of this Maitri is honesty with oneself, not lying to oneself. That is really hard because you don't know you're lying to yourself. And blind spots. And really, literally, this very week, yesterday, in fact, or day before yesterday, just before coming here, there was this kind of a deepening awareness of different ways that I had been deceiving myself. I was just telling someone about this. This was thanks to my 6-year-old granddaughter. Thanks to spending a weekend with my beloved 6-year-old granddaughter, who when I think of someone I love unconditionally, I always think of her. Thanks to spending one weekend alone with her, I had to acknowledge, I had to give up the self-deception that I didn't have much aggression. And then my habit of practicing what I teach and what I practice is when there's the discomfort of, say, like losing it totally with my 6-year-old granddaughter, my habit is to not like see that as a horrible thing that's happened, but to actually move closer to the feeling of losing it, which is to say, to let all the words and the commentary, the right and wrong dialogue about it go, and just be there sort of cold turkey with what it feels like to be losing it. And as a result of that, as I moved, like closer to myself and this experience, it wasn't helping me to not lose it with this sweetheart granddaughter. But I also realized that losing it was only half of it, the self-deception. The real thing was that I was so embarrassed to be this spiritual teacher that all these people come to. I said it's like bribing the kid. Don't tell anyone about grandma. Okay, Alex, this is just between you and grandma. And so what happens with us is not only do we have parts of ourselves that we find painful. Many of us find our rage painful, or that we're constantly anxious or irritated painful, or that disliking someone painful. But there's also the struggling with that it just doesn't measure up with the image that you carry around that you would like to present to people. So there's the embarrassment of moving closer to oneself. And all of this is the Maitri. Having a sense of humor about this. This is a kind of a sense of humor, honesty. This is where the compassion comes in. It begins with compassion for yourself.
Discover on-demand videos and docuseries, explore a full schedule of daily life classes, and become part of an incredible community. At Sounds True One, we invite you inward to find your way, your way.